Good morning. It is 9:41 a.m. on Friday, February 18th, 2022. I'm Christiana Ellis, and I just got up. This is 5 more minutes. Once again, I stayed up late. Thankfully, this time I slept considerably better, although I nonetheless am in a little bit of a caffeine withdrawal headache situation, and I can't remedy that immediately because I have medications that I need to take in the morning, and caffeine will interfere with the absorption of them, so I have to wait for an hour after I take them before I can have some caffeine. It hasn't been an hour yet, but that's okay because it will be soon. And then I'll be fine. Then I'll get some writing done. Yesterday was the first full day at the retreat, and it went great. Um, Despite the late start, which I'll get again today for different reasons, um, I got some good work done, I think. As I decided in the video yesterday, it was more like instead of spending an endless amount of time not writing either version when I can't decide, instead I'll just pick one and say, let's just see where this goes. And so far I'm digging it, and we'll see how that continues to develop today. It has already required me to restructure some of the early scenes and chapters a little bit in ways that are, causing ripple effects that I didn't expect, which of course is the whole point of why I was feeling like I wanted to rewrite those bits anyway. And so we'll see how that goes. So I'm excited to keep that going today. I also last night ran a game called Thieves from Possible Worlds Games. I discovered this gaming company because the Friends at the Table podcast did some live streams of them playing a game called Hounds from Possible Worlds Games, and I thought that seemed like a really fun game. That game is a dice stacking game telling the story about um, a giant mech and its pilot running from the authorities, which seems lots of fun. A little bit sad by design, but really interesting in terms of its mechanics. And so I decided to see what other games they had, and Thieves stood out. Not that the others aren't good too, I'm sure, but in particular, it appealed to me, and I thought it would probably appeal to the people here. It is about a troupe of actors who put on a play to cover for the fact that they are actually a heist crew. And so the mechanic of the game is that you have everybody create a bunch of props, and then the props come up in a random order, and when it's your turn, you draw a random prop, and maybe it's a tuning fork or a jester costume. And what you have to do is you have to write the scene in the play, and you would have in advance decided what the play is going to be and what question it's trying to ask. And you write a scene in the play that centers around that prop, but then you also write the sequence in the next bit of the heist sequence that also centers around that prop at the same time, and then you flip a coin for both, one for each, and then you're tracking over the number of turns, the number of successes or failures for each. And then in Act 2, you do the same thing, only now you can call back Act 1 props to guarantee the success in just play or the heist. And so that way you can start trying to shape towards the ending that you would like, but of course still limited in what you can accomplish via the coin flips. Although the coin flips are naturally going to statistically balance pretty close to even, and so my guess is that you would frequently be in the situation we were, which is that we were essentially able to get victory on both sides. But I think you wouldn't always be able to guarantee that, obviously. In fact, actually, I suspect probably statistically it's more likely that you would only be able to guarantee success on one side. I'd have to do the math, and I don't actually care that much. But we had a great time playing that game last night, and that's part of why we were up late. We decided that the world we were set in was fantasy space flavored, meaning we're not like in a bunch of spaceships, but it's like we are in a medieval kingdom on the back of a dragon flying through a giant dragon flying through space, stuff like that. And of course, how do we get around? Well, we have a goat wagon, but they're space goats, obviously. And we had a running gag of people giving traits to the various space animals like space goats or space cats or whatever, and saying, "Oh, but it's big, right?" And then it's like, "Well, yeah, we know what a space goat looks like." um, but in any case, it was a lot of fun. We did end up with a success, meaning we got to say that our play had a happy ending, the story of it, and then also the heist. And the heist we were doing was that this dragon was actually, there was a machine that allowed the rulers of this kingdom to control the dragon, and we wanted to steal that machine so that the dragon would be free. Like, not so that we could control it instead, but so that the dragon would be free. And then we had a play, Hamlet like, asking the question, is it right to control dragons? And so by the end, we essentially got to be in a place where we say, and so, as this play forces you to ponder the moral question of whether or not it's right to control dragons, too late, bitches. We stole your option anyway, so good luck with that. And it was pretty fun. And we had a great time. And I'm having a good time on this trip. Although, after I take a shower, I'm going to go get some caffeine. And then be having even a more great time. In the meantime, I'll talk to you all tomorrow for 5 more minutes.